All right, hey everybody, welcome to Comic Book Radio. I am publishing Pete Cimetti, founder publisher of Alterna Comics, and this is an open format kind of show. You guys can find the link to join the show pinned to the top of the chat. Feel free to join whatever it is you'd like to talk about. I'd like to talk about it with you. Other than that, though, I do have a bunch of things to discuss. I have a couple things planned for tonight. Whether we get to them or not, I guess that's, in a way, your call. If you guys actually flood the whole green room and we have a conversation for usually about 2 hours or so, then maybe we don't get to anything that I want to talk about. I do at least want to give you guys an update. And first, before I do that, I guess I'll say hello to all of you guys. Thank you for joining tonight. Unqualified Comics says, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Chad Townsend, how are you? Says, just drawn. Leandro says, hail to the chat. Statistical Zero, what's up, Statistical Zero? Hope you're doing okay. Peter Palmiotti says, Pete playing all the hits on tonight's Comic Book Radio. Ross Wolf says, all these Italian Peters, but not one Pietro. I call shenanigans. Okay. I see what you're talking about. My grandfather's name was actually Pietro. Yeah. Sark says, hail Pete. Hey Sark, how's it going? Eric McIntyre, what's up? Gerald Lang. Yes, okay. So as many of you know that you've been following through either YouTube or Twitter, our cat, Erin and I, our cat Lovey, she had some pretty serious vet stuff. So what it was that, and I don't know if you guys caught any of the Alterna Comics auction last Saturday. I had mentioned it. She was going to get 2 teeth extracted. Now, Lovey has an underlying condition. She's got overactive thyroid. She has hyperthyroidism. She's had that since about 2019. It was a really, really scary time because she lost like 4 to 5 pounds within 3 days out of nowhere. We had a bad heat wave. And whenever it's really hot, she doesn't like to eat. And I guess she had this condition. And she's already kind of a small cat as it is, 10 pounds or so. But she dropped down to like 4.8 pounds or something in 3 days. After 2 days, we called the vet. The third day got really scary, and I'm glad we got her in there because I think it saved her life. Quite frankly, I think that's what happened, because I think if we waited a 4th day, I don't think the medicine would have taken. I don't think it would have been good for her. So good news with all that. Her medicine with the hyperthyroid stuff, she's very good. She gained a lot of weight back. She's almost like 10.5 pounds now. But because of the hyperthyroid, it kind of accelerates anything really that occurs. It's awful. So the 2 teeth got extracted, but when she went into the dentist, the vet dentist, oh boy, poor thing. She got x-rayed. They found out that she needed more teeth extracted. She needed 6 teeth extracted. So we said, yeah, do what you got to do. And in turn, what happened was the vet bill that we thought we were going to get, it doubled. So we had budgeted for $900 to $1,000 and figured, okay, whatever I could sell during the art auctions last Friday and Saturday, both on the Alterna show and on Ethan Van Sciver's channel. He had an art auction there on Friday and Saturday. That would go towards it. Erin had made a Timey Tim ornament as well. That got auctioned off. Thank you, Mandible Smasher. I don't know where you are, if you're in the chat or not, but thank you for purchasing that. Appreciate that. But we raised enough for what we thought we were going to need. So we're going to do another art auction on the 8th because, like I said, the bill doubled. And money's money. It is what it is. I'm just glad Lovey's doing okay. She's doing a lot better now. The first night, she was in rough shape. It seemed like she didn't want any of the medicine, any of the food, anything like that. But she actually ended up having, I don't know, maybe she started healing up, whatever it was, but she started eating again. She started getting the medicine again. And she's, I'd say, like 70% of the way there at this point. So it looks like she's going to make a full and complete recovery. But Jesus, 6 teeth. Ugh. I got my 4 wisdom teeth out in one shot, and that was miserable. I lost like 10 pounds that week. This was like when I was 15 or 16. But yeah, it's just, oh boy, oh boy. Either way, though, I appreciate all you guys asking. Appreciate you guys sending good vibes, positive vibes to us about all of this. It really means a lot. It's helped out a lot too. Your kindness. A lot of you have reached out personally as well, and have given your support and your help, and it means quite a lot. And many people are actually donating pieces as well for next week's art auction. A lot of great stuff. So I really recommend check those out. It's going to be on this channel next week, next Saturday, May 8th. 1 at noon to 4 Eastern, and then 1 again at nighttime, at least for me, nighttime, 9 and onward, and we'll see what happens. All right. So, but again, our deepest thanks to all of you guys for moral support, everything. You guys have been wonderful. Matt Cisco, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are doing well. Hey, Jasper, Plan 9, what's up? All right. So, yeah, so let's get into it. Yeah, thank you guys again so much. Yeah, everybody's talking about Lovey. Jasper says, yeah, well, you aren't Ethan's. Not sure if you know he's a toxic member of Comics Kid. You aren't his friend, are you? I am his friend. I know we were making fun of. So much has happened. Yes. So because of that, I don't know if you guys caught that. Because of that, I had mentioned something. I had thanked Ethan. Some people knew, some people didn't. But I didn't want people to be too worried, because they must have. We were getting messages and everything like that after the show on the Alterna channel about how they could help, and I was like, no, I think we're fine. I think we're going to be good. And then I mentioned that, my thanks to everybody that supported on both channels with those auctions, and of course we got someone coming out of woodwork and going all ridiculous about it, and it is what it is. And that was, I think, Sunday or Monday, something like that, and then I made the foolish mistake of commenting about the X-Men. And then that was a whole other pile of madness. Oh, what a joke it all is. People. I expected Captain Obvious memes. I expected, gifs like, because I posted a silly Marvel, this is the X-Men. And I expected people to be like, yeah, duh, that's the X-Men. It was just a stupid, playful joke of a tweet to Marvel's X-Men Hellfire Gala thing. And people got really pissed. The tweet took off. It took off for some unbelievably stupid reason. But it was the Art Adams classic X-Men #1 cover art. I think it's not the original art, though, because the coloring's updated. Not as good as the original. But still good, because it's Art Adams. How could it be bad? But that's all I put, and then people were trying to own me further, putting like the original 60s X-Men or the 90s, or like, a team from like, I don't know, 85, I think the Silvestri era. And they're like, oh, silly Pete, these are the X-Men. And I'm like, hell yeah, they're the X-Men. Totally. I love all those versions of the X-Men. I don't think people knew what to do with the whole thing. I was making a joke out of it. People were getting very, very pissed. They felt very strongly, I guess, in favor of those Hellfire Gala costumes. Okay, whatever. If you like it, go buy a lot of it. Buy an extra copy. Consider the fact that I won't be buying a copy. I'm sure many people probably won't be buying a copy. But it was just a joke, playful tweet, and people got very upset. But, yeah. I wasn't upset whatsoever. Some people were worried if they thought I might have been actually very upset by it. I could care less. Or couldn't care less, however that phrase goes. Mighty Joe, hey, what's up, Mighty Joe? Hope you're doing good. Let's see. Oh, man, statistical 0. You did not have to do that. I appreciate that, brother. Holy smokes. Says you have earned a lot of respect here in the House of Zero from me and Mrs. Z for a bit of coffee and a bit for that cat fund. Keep punching. Thank you, man. Oh, thank you. Appreciate you, man. That cartoon strip you did was great too. The comic strip you did of me talking about the X-Men thing, that cracked me up. A bunch of you guys really cracked me up. The whole thing was just hilarious to me. Whatever. I don't know what to make of this stupid stuff. It's insane. Let's see. Oh, hey, Rob, what's up? Says I have some pieces to donate. How do I do that? It's up to you. I know you're in Australia, so I don't know if you want to actually. It's up to you, man. I got no problems with covering your shipping and stuff like that if someone wins a piece. If you do want to donate a piece, just send me a digital, just the art file of it, This way I could show it up on screen, but you honestly don't have to do that. I have more than enough to show. I don't even know if I'm going to get to everything between like the 5 or 6 pieces that I already have and then the 5 or 6 pieces that are getting donated. I don't even know if I'll have enough room even between the 2 shows, because we'll also have other guests on as well to sell their own stuff. And also some people are also selling stuff and giving a percentage to help out. Everyone, you guys are incredible. I don't even know, man. Overwhelming. You guys, I feel like, I've said it before, I feel like George Bailey at the end of It's a Wonderful Life, where everybody's just coming in and you guys are fantastic. I can't, and Erin, we can't both thank you guys enough. It means so much. But Rob, you don't need to feel like you have to donate anything. If you want to, it's up to you. But we definitely don't need more pieces. If you want to be there that day, though, to sell something, please feel free to show up. It's open to anyone and everyone. So if you do want to join on the auction that day, just I have a pinned tweet about it, and just respond to that. Send me a message, whatever you'd like to do. Let's see here. Oh, geez, Gerald Lang, thank you so much for the $15 super chats. There's another donation for the kitty. Save the funds for the auction, guys. I appreciate that, Gerald, though. Holy smokes. Again, I know you gave something last time too. You don't need to do that. Don't worry about it. We're going to have a lot of great stuff on the auction. Next time, Gerald, you place an order, I'm going to get you something. Same thing with you too, Statistical Zero. Next time you place an order on the Alterna site, let me know, and then I will send you something of thanks along the way. And it looks like, I swear that I just saw Mandible Smasher here. Hey, Mandible Smasher. There it is. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm waiting on Frankie's card. Frankie is one state away. It's not even here yet. He mailed it out Monday, and I'm seeing it's still stuck in his state. Meanwhile, Ryan Wynn is doing art for the Indiegogo campaign, and he sent that I don't even know. I think I got the message like Wednesday, and he sent that, and that arrived today. He's in California. Frankie's like a state away from me. I don't know what's up with the mail sometime. So I'm waiting on Frankie's card to get here, and then everything's going to ship out to you with a couple extras. Thank you again for supporting that day and for getting that Timey Tim Felt ornament too. Really, really awesome of you. All right. So without further ado, I'll bring on a guest. Goodness gracious, you guys, I got to get started with the show. I appreciate the kindness and the generosity. Man, oh man, you guys are too much. Monster Fan, thank you so much for the $10 super chats. It's a small contribution toward the health of your beloved friend. And Jim Cox as well. Jeez Louise. Guys, I don't even know. You guys are too much. Every one of you guys that's donating right now, especially because we're not doing the art auction right now. Every one of you guys that's donating right now, make sure to send me a DM and just let me know your address or whatever it is. I want to send you guys a thank you gift. Please let me do that. Don't just give a donation to something like this. I want to send you guys something. Jeez Louise. All right. Okay. Thank you guys again so much. Okay, let's get started with the show. I will come around again to seeing what I've got more stuff to talk about. I got to unbox Don Chin and Billy Tucci. They both sent along their Indiegogo stuff to me. I think it's She Haikio, and I think it's also Don Chin's X-Farce. Jasper, come on. Lovely. I've been there, man. Oh boy. You guys, fantastic. You guys are just unbelievable. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. It was, like I said, it's whatever the money was, we covered it. We're going to pay for it, but it was really just like, okay, do what you got to do, whatever it is that's going to make her fine and not in pain. And, just do it. And I'm so grateful she's been recovering. She's okay. It looks like she's going to be making a full and complete recovery. She's starting to get, her mood is a bit better. Her energy levels are a bit better too. Thank you guys again so much. You don't have to do this. Next week we've got an auction, guys. That's why I'm doing the auction. I much rather sell you something. I much rather give you something in return for any of the contributions you want to make. And you don't have to make them. It's just if you want to make them. But thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Oh boy. Okay. So I want to unbox these. I want to unbox these, and I want to get to what we've got to talk about with you guys as well. So if you do want to join the show and talk about something, you want to ask a question, you want to promote a comic, you want to, I don't know, just even talk about your own pet. I don't know. It's up to you. It's comic book radio is kind of, you guys, whatever you want to talk about. I rarely ever have something to talk about. Today's one of the rare times I do have something to talk about. But again, it's not about me, really. It's about whatever you guys want to talk about. Okay, so speaking of which, let's get started with our first guest. We have someone waiting here right now. They've been very patient. They've been waiting very, very quietly. At least I think they've been quiet. I can't hear them because they're not actively in the room. But they've been patient. Very, very patient. Here we go. Our first guest for Comic Book Radio, and that would be Unqualified Comics. Hello, how are you, man?
Hey, Pete. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for being so patient the whole time, too.
No, it's all good. Thanks for having me on. Sorry to hear about your cat. Hopefully that works out for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, all I care about is that she makes a full recovery and she's not in pain anymore. But it's one of those, you get the bill, you're like, okay, it's going to be like $1,000, and then you're like, it's going to be like double. Okay. Whew, okay. Yeah. There's just one card, goodbye, that kind of a thing. But we'll figure out how to deal with it and raise money later on. Let's just get her taken care of.
Yeah, no, I kind of feel bad for being on. You had like a string right here of super chats. And I'm like, I don't want to break this.
No, hey, don't feel bad whatsoever. But before we do get into it, thank you so much. GJ Martinez says, for Lovey and much love to you and your family. Thank you, man. I appreciate that with the $20 super chat. Again, guys, please send me a DM, get in touch with me, or send an email to publisher@alternacomics.com if you do not have Twitter, or if you don't want to, interact necessarily on there or reveal yourself. I don't know. People's privacy, you want to keep it, that's fine. But send me an email or, again, a DM on Twitter. I want to send you guys a thank you gift. Okay. All right. So what's on your mind?
Well, anyway, man, the chat's awesome. I actually wanted to talk about the release schedule for Alterna, because I've been like, there's a couple comics I'm really interested in. Mainly, I got the first Alterna Giant, T-Bird and Throttle, and I did a review on my channel. It is awesome, and I'm looking forward to the second one. Is it still going to be this month or next month, or is it moving out?
It's most likely at this point. I'm finding that the printer is unbelievably overwhelmed still, and they're still dealing with COVID protocols. It feels just like, can some of this stuff ease up for some of these states already? So what's happened is that the second wave of Indiegogo books went to print on April 1st. And it's now going to be, from what I'm told, it's supposed to be shipping out to us this week. And then we're going to probably get it in like a week or two based on how long it's taken to get books to us before. The printer's completely backlogged. So they're telling us that the next time that they have room on the press is something like towards the end of May. So I was like, but every single time, this whole print run that was supposed to be with this batch of books, like T-Bird and Thrall #2, Downcast #2, a couple of others as well, this was supposed to go out to print. When I talked to them, this was supposed to go out simultaneously with the Indiegogo books. And they said, okay, look, the Indiegogo stuff, that second wave, it's a lot of books, and it's variant covers, and it's all this other extra stuff. And they're like, we want to make sure we do it right. So can you just split things to make sure that they're not like 40 books going to print at once? And can you just split it up? And I was like, okay, well, I'll split it up with the new books. So I'll just wait on those a little bit, and then we'll just do the Indiegogo books. And that's proven to be complicated enough for them as it is. But we're going to be getting those hopefully, I want to say like June at this point, but I hate the fact that we've had these delays. If you're an Alterna subscriber, I don't know if you are, but if you are, you're getting that for free still. Well, not for free. It's included with your 2020 subscription. But then all the books getting released afterwards, we're going to be going to Indiegogo for pre-orders and having a different kind of release schedule, not the thing that we've been used to. It's I can't believe that we're still dealing with delays. It's insane.
Yeah, actually, I see. Right now, do you only have one printer, or are there no backup printers?
There's the next backup printer. If we went with the next one, first of all, I don't like their quality as much, but if we went with them, their price is double. Whew. So yeah, So it's not an option for us. I think we save a little bit on shipping because they're a little closer to us, but it's something like, I think like 42%, something higher, like whatever it is, like let's say if the printing is let's say it's like 60 cents a piece, let's say with these guys, with them it's something like $1.05, $1.10 a piece. It's not acceptable whatsoever. So we have to just kind of write it out with these guys. And again, I don't like the quality too of the next step up. They're not. It's more expensive and it's not as good. They want to print the covers digitally as opposed to doing them on a heat set web press. So they don't look as good. You ever get like a digitally printed comic?
Yeah, I've had like a print on demand product. Like I bought one time, and I don't think I ever want to buy one again.
Yeah, it's not acceptable to me. And then especially to pay more for a lesser quality product, I'd rather we just wait and we just get you guys, some good stuff. And because the wait has been exceptionally long, what I'm going to do for all the subscribers, I'm going to throw in just a random free issue that we've got just to everybody, because everybody's been so patient. And then that'll close out the subscription for 2020. And then we can actually move forward and utilize Indiegogo to do pre-orders from then on. And it should be much easier at that point in terms of the anticipation factor, and we won't have delays anymore. But there will be we'd probably be releasing books quarterly at that point. But it won't really feel, I guess, like there's that much of a wait, because also a lot of the creators are going to be doing their own projects and getting things out, like the creator versions, like Hammerella with Ryan Wynn and Wirehead with Rob Geronimo, and even Keith is going to be fulfilling his Mighty Mascots very soon, because his books are going to be shipping out allegedly. I'm hoping the printer's honest with me. Sometimes they like to just tell me stuff, and then I'm like, look, just let me know when these are actually printing out. When they're shipping out, don't just like tell me, okay, well, yeah, they're going to go out then, and then they don't, because I was like, people are waiting on these, and then I'm got to tell them something, and then all of a sudden it's like what I'm telling them isn't correct. So they told me, yeah, this week they should be shipping out. And then that's Keith's books too. So Keith is getting Mighty Mascots 4, 5, and 6. And then he should be getting those in a week or two as well. And then he's going to fulfill the rest of his campaign. So even though Alterna is going to be releasing like 5 to 7 books quarterly, it's not going to really seem like it's hard to tell. It's not really going to seem like we're not releasing as many books, because everybody else is still releasing all of their stuff too through their campaigns.
Yeah, so I kind of wonder then, I wonder if this makes this more desirable to kind of go with the alternate Giants format, since it's so hard to get in the print queue with your printer. Maybe it's better if everyone went to larger saddle stitch books, because you don't know when it's going to get printed. So you might as well stuff as much story as you can into each time you get to print, right? But I don't know. I'm just kind of like speculating.
No, I still want to go through doing issue by issue, and then we can collect it doing alternate Giants. But I don't want to just, because if we end up doing, like, let's say everything becomes an alternate Giant, then you guys are going to wait like a year to get an issue. You see what I'm saying? Instead of like, because Josh already has T-Bird and Throttle ready. So it's not a production issue on our end. It's a production issue on the printer end. So all of these guys have issues ready. It's just we have to accommodate and wait for the printer, because their press time is completely booked. So it's more like it's that kind of a thing. Whereas, again, if we combined everything and we waited then and put like 3 or 4 issues out at one shot, then you guys are going to end up waiting like 8 months to a year for that Giant, instead of having issues come out 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah, then you wouldn't have the throughput at that point, right, throughout the year. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. No, I just wanted to talk about T-Bird and Throttle. I really enjoyed that book a lot. I'm also, I don't know, is Ryan Wynn going to do more Gods and Gear besides Hammerella?
Yeah. He's doing definitely more of that. Both him and Dean are actually working on a couple of issues right now. I believe it's 5, 6, and 7. And then Hammerella eventually is going to be a Gods and Gears annual, and reprinted as that on the newsprint format with a different cover and things like that. Kind of treated as a Giant in a way. but his version of it, his creator exclusive version that he's releasing is going to have all these extras. It's going to be on different paper stock, a nicer cover, a paperback bound, perfect format. So it's that kind of a thing in terms of the difference in quality. So it's almost like the big budget exclusive limited edition release for the Indiegogo backer. They get all the bonuses, they get signed versions of it, they get this and that. And then if you don't really care for any of that and you just want to get it on the newsprint and you want to wait maybe a year or two, then you can get it through Alterna later on, printed that way. But yeah, he's definitely continuing Gods and Gears. Absolutely.
Okay. When do you think is that coming out 2022 or
at this rate, I would say I want to talk to him about seeing if we can get at least issue 5 out towards the end of this year. But no matter what, definitely 2022.
Yeah, I forget. Is there an Alterna Giants for Gods and Gears 1 through 4?
No, not yet.
Just the same?
There will
not
be
yet?
though. Yeah, there will be though.
Yeah, that's another series that I really enjoyed that series a lot. Man, it was good. I also had to run down came out on the Wednesday with the little side story. I forget which one it is now. I think it's like number 9 or
it's number 8. Number 8 is
number 8. Okay.
Yeah, number 8 has that kind of like a Gods and Gears 0 story. It's a great little sets up the whole thing. Yeah, it's really, really nice.
Yeah. No, it was good stuff. So you got in trouble on Twitter for the X-Men?
Yeah. You know, I mean, all I did was make a really stupid, obvious statement. I was just like, silly Marvel, this is the X-Men. And everyone, you know, a lot of people agreed. They were like, yeah, this is definitely the X-Men. And then a lot of people were really pissed off. I was like, this is just, I thought people would just be like, oh, duh, obviously. You showed a picture of the X-Men and declared that this is the X-Men. I didn't say anything hateful about the Hellfire Gala stuff. I didn't comment on it. I didn't say anything. I was just oh, this is the X-Men. And people lost their ever-loving minds.
Yeah, I can't stand the current X-Men by Hickman. But I'm not going to go on a rant here. But
yeah, I personally don't care for it, you know, and I love like every iteration of the X-Men up until probably the early 2000s. Once they were in like the all black suits, I kind of I didn't really care
you mean
for that.
The cinematic X-Men?
Yeah, and then it lost me after that. But I loved every iteration of them up until that point.
Oh yeah, I gush about Claremont's X-Men like all the time on my my channel. Especially, I love the New Mutants. I really love the New Mutants.
Yeah,
I like those first 54 issues, and then the special and the annuals by him. Like, man, those are some special comics.
Great stuff.
Kind of forgotten.
Yeah,
but no, it was. I stay off Twitter because it's I don't know. It's like the internet landmine. I know you gotta advertise Alterna through it, so God bless you, Pete.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, well,
that website is painful.
I don't. At this point, it's one of those things. I've been through hell and back on Twitter, so people coming at me about the X-Men is just like it's the funniest thing in the world to me. I didn't even, you know, back in the day, like 3-4 years ago, whenever everything crazy started going down on Twitter in particular. You know, I would get like dog piled and my heart's racing and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, this is insane. You know, this is so just nerve wracking and anxiety inducing. And now I'm just like, it's just half the time I ignore it. Some other times I playfully make something back at them, or sometimes, you know, I really just like squash a person down when they're coming at me and being absolutely ridiculous. I used to really try to sincerely, and sometimes I still will if I feel the person is sincerely disagreeing or conversing with me. But I used to always, every single person, no matter what it was, I used to try to come at them in a serious, heartfelt kind of way. And it would always just result in me feeling like, you know, I'm just the worst person in the world. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, why is this person so upset with me? They don't know me. I don't know them. But now I'm just like, I don't give a crap. You know, you don't know me. You want to talk to me like a jackass. You're going to get talked to like a jackass right back. And that's if I'm in the particular mood to do so. Most of the time, I just ignore it.
See, you need another pair of sunglasses to put over your current pair of sunglasses. There you go.
I do. I have that, believe it or not. These were the original ones that I had. These are like, they go over.
Publishing Pete, deal with it. Oh, man. Yeah, no, I saw those costumes and I was just like, Oh man, I can't believe I was actually looking at I think the fan costumes they did for the New Mutants. Well, actually, I don't even know if they're called the New Mutants anymore because half of them were dead and then they revived them to be plant people. Well, I mean,
Does that
actually,
mean that the original New Mutants are now Boomer Mutants?
I have no idea. Honestly, it gets really confusing after the early 2000s, and I just get lost after a while. I mean, just trying to figure out Psylocke from the 90s is already difficult enough. But
Yeah, I told
actually,
one.
you got yeah.
I was going
Go
to
ahead.
say I told one person who came at me and was calling me a boomer about liking the Art Adams X-Men image there. I told him, I said it would have been so much more funny if you just put the whole, put Boomer, put an image of Boomer, the X-Force character, boom, boom, Boomer. And I put a trading card up of Boomer to let them know because I knew that they would have no idea what the hell I was talking about. Because they were trying to say, oh, you're a boomer. You don't even know about the X-Men. And I'm like, oh, it would have been way funnier if you used that image. I would have laughed. Instead, now I just feel sad.
Like I remember doing a video and I got like an email from actually I did a review of the New Mutants movie and I got an angry email from someone because I criticized that the intent of making Danny Moonstar and Rain have a lesbian relationship because I was kind of like, well, that doesn't make any sense. They were never like that in the comics. They were just really close friends. And there actually was technically, per the canon, a lesbian New Mutant that was Karma, and she was actually part of the original New Mutants. And then they chose to not have her in the movie for whatever reason. I actually didn't understand that because I was like, why do they have magic? She doesn't like join the mutants till like way later. But yeah, Hollywood is odd, very odd. I don't get it. And honestly, like I'm kind of done watching movies to kind of expect them to kind of take something from the comic. I just realized they're just going to do their own thing. So, if you want to watch the movie to enjoy the movie, then I guess go ahead. But if you're going into to try to like, oh, it's just going to be like those comics I read when I grew up. No, they're not. They're not going to
Yeah,
be it at
yeah.
all.
When they first started putting the movie adaptations out, I was like, oh, it'd be great if they adapted this storyline or that or whatever, right? Because especially I was so used to a lot of those adaptations occurring in like the animated series. Both X-Men, Batman, Superman, and it wouldn't be a full 100%, adaptation, but it would still work within the realm of it. It would still have the heart of the story there. But now I'm just like, oh, I just hope they just do their own stupid thing and stop ruining all of my favorite comic stories.
Yeah. I mean, oh man, I just I was actually that was the last movie I watched, and it was in the middle of the pandemic, so obviously it was a total flop. I remember being in a theater with like 4 people, and by the time I was done with it, I was just like, why did I even spend my money on this? Should have just pre-ordered more stuff from you, Pete.
Well, that's always a good option. Yeah, you get more value for your money too. I think what is it before everything? A movie was like $12 to $15. I think that's like 10 alternate titles, pretty much.
Yeah, you're lucky to get opening week tickets for like $20. That's usually what's going on in a lot of the area where I live. But they're always going to like these premium theaters now because they can make those pandemic proof because they usually have less seating. So it doesn't matter if you have limited capacity, you just charge everybody more for the limited capacity, and then sell people like a Sam Adams for like $17 for a bottle.
Exactly. Stay
Exactly.
home.
Yeah, it's like you might as well just buy a subscription, watch it, and then cancel the subscription.
Yeah,
it would have been the same amount at
absolutely.
that
point. 100%. I mean, I haven't been to the movies. I think the last movie I saw in the theater. Oh man, I want to say it was like, could it have been the second Avengers? It's been a long time. We had such a bad experience just at the theater alone, and then how expensive it was. We were just like, why do we have a big enough TV at home? I mean, we don't have the time to go to see movies anyway. And then when we do, and then you pay out the nose, and then it's an awful experience. It's just like, stay home, and then we can just watch whatever we want to watch when we have the time to watch it. It's just, oh boy, I don't understand it. It's asking. It's a similar thing with me settling to go to like that next printer. It's like I'm paying a premium for a worser product. just you could stay at home, you can enjoy yourself, you can have that peace of mind, and even the quiet of actually enjoying and watching a film, or you can go to the theater and just lose your damn mind and feel like, what the hell am I doing here? No one wants to be here anyway. They're all on their phone, they're all making noise, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, you might as well just stay home. If you're going to go outside, I mean, go outside for something that's nice, like a beautiful hike in the spring. Okay. Something gives you a breath of fresh air. Why go to a theater? Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Shane O'Sullivan, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Says I have a bit to spare. Good luck with your cat's recovery. Thank you so much, Shane. Appreciate that, buddy.
5 pounds.
And again, Shane, I know you're overseas, but I'd still like to send you a thank you gift. So make sure reach out to me on Twitter and let me know your address, and then I'll send you something. Please do so. Feel free. Don't just give me a donation. I want to make sure you guys get something, some kind of thank you, something for doing such a thing. Especially because when it comes to the whole thing for our cat, I don't want to turn into like a necessarily 100% charity kind of thing. I want to have that auction. I want to sell stuff. I want to try to raise money. I don't want to just have it where we just take donations. So thank you guys so much. But this whole thing, it's just, people can like what they like. And I wish they would like it as much as they apparently say they do. But when it comes to the case of the comics, the sales they're just not there. If these kinds of things were producing sales into the same numbers of even the time when the comics were crashing in the 90s, they're not even as good as those numbers. So if they were at least as good as those numbers, even, it could sound all right. I could say, fine, you guys obviously are coming out for it, but they're really not. And comic shops don't really need a 12-issue Hellfire Gala right now. They need the next generational story that's like on par with even something like, I don't want to say Dark Phoenix Saga because that's so just up there, but like even if it was something along the lines of like Extinction Agenda, Fatal Attractions, I even joked about like Executioner's Song, where that was like it was kind of like a middle of the road event. But that would be mind-blowing today in terms of quality. Comic shops don't need like Hellfire Gala. And if they want to do that, they could do it really easily. If it was my decision, I'd say, okay, if you want to reach this crossover audience, let's put out just like a fashion issue, and that's it. And we'll have a fashion designer who has some kind of an audience, especially if they've been on like a Project Runway kind of a thing. And they can have these avant-garde designs for the X-Men and treat it as if it's just a pinup issue. And it could get that audience, that fashion audience in there looking at these things and thinking of the X-Men in this kind of a fashion way. No story, just images. And just say, okay, here's this issue for this, and then that's it. And this way you can have that crossover appeal and not have to have it ruin any kind of a story or waste any reader's time. I mean, if they want to get 12 issues, it's like $50-something for a total of what? A throwaway storyline? Especially they ruin all the storylines anyway because they promote the hell out of them before they even come out. So what's the point of even picking them up? And then nothing's really going to happen. It's all going to reset to something else. The whole thing is just a big waste of time. I don't get it. But this is how they want to run things. So, okay, fine. But if the readers want to really fight for it and they want to say they support it, then go buy it. Go support it. But time and time again, it's just the support's just really not there.
Yeah, you could do like a Marvel GQ or Marvel Vogue, right? Go back and forth between the men and the ladies or something like that. If you wanted to do some fashion thing, just make it all art, make it like an art book or something like that. You have like a special, right? Like some $4.99 special that you can buy with whatever the storyline that's going on. It'd be really cool. I don't know, man. I think about it at just like, I mean, who at Marvel right now, from like a writer's perspective, can really do those great runs that were back in the 80s and the early 90s, right? Like, who can do a Mutant Massacre? Who can do a Fall of the Mutants? There's not many out there, like both writing wise. I mean, I do think that the art, at least from what I've seen every time I go into the shop, I think it's good enough. I mean, it could be better, but there's some talented artists out there. It just, every time I open up and try to read one of these things, I'm like, where am I? What is going on? And nobody acts like anything remotely what they are. after a while, you kind of think like, why don't these writers just, if they really want to do this with the character and the character's not really that what they want, why don't they just make their own character? But it might be that some of these guys, they don't want to be, because I think now with the way the intellectual property and the creator rights is nowadays, they don't want to make something and then end up getting hosed by Marvel or DC. Maybe that's my own thoughts on it.
And I totally get that, and I understand that. And then at the same time, I'm also like, well, what you're doing then is you're setting yourself up already to have this bittersweet or sometimes just completely bitter experience at these companies. You're going in there knowing these aren't your creations. They're not your characters. You're kind of more just playing with someone else's toys. And, you're just saying, okay, well, at the end of the day, they stay at their house. They don't come home with me. And when you go into the job knowing that you're going to do that, well, that's the terms, that's the situation that you're in. If you don't want to be in that situation, then don't be in that situation. I was never in that situation. And the more that I was making comics, I never wanted to be in that situation. So that's why I was just like, all right, I started off as a kid wanting to make comics, wanting to make these things with these other characters. And then it turned into, well, I want to just make my own characters and tell my own stories. And then it eventually evolved into, I want to help other people to tell their own stories with their own characters. And I don't really care so much about what I do with mine. And I can just wait on those and save them for a rainy day, maybe when I'm older or whatever. But if you're going to get involved with the big two and do that kind of a thing, and you're already right off the bat kind of jaded by the experience, what are you doing there? Give it up to somebody who wants to go in there and it's their dream to just do that and have fun with those stories and those characters. It's just, to me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I think that a lot of people, a lot of readers in particular that have read for so many years can really tell, and you can really see who loves their job and who hates their job. And right now, I think in corporate comics, most people are hating their jobs.
Yeah, no, definitely. Another thing that doesn't get mentioned a lot is the dirty secret is it's not just the writers and, well, I wouldn't say the artists, but really the writers that are kind of down and bringing the medium down, but it's really also the editors. Because I don't think the editors even believe half of what you just said right there. A lot of them, I mean, I don't know if you guys are catching up with, like, say, Richard C. Myers videos kind of investigating. A lot of these editors don't even get paid like living wages, right? So, of course, they're going to go into work and they hate everything. And yeah, like, oh, yeah, Wolverine and Cyclops are now in a three-way relationship. Yeah, sure, whatever. What do they care? They barely get paid anything. So, of course, they don't care about these characters that all of us obviously grew up in love with, right? So, I don't know. I kind of, there's a part of me that's frustrated by it, but there's also a part of me that, like, I feel sorry for a lot of the people that are, kind of stuck in that system. Because, like, what do you do if you go to work every day and you don't do what you enjoy, right? It seems to me like almost a waste, right? Like, why are you doing this? You might as well just do something that you actually truly enjoy and love, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's the thing. And I mean, even when I first started out with Alterna, I worked 2 to 3 other jobs most of the times for the first 6 or 7 years, and just to do this whole thing, So if they want to get out of that system and go indie with it, they're in a better place than I was at when I first started off with it. I was on the right before crowdfunding, before a lot of the internet stuff with social media, and you could really market effectively, and especially with YouTube and things like that. There was really almost none of that with comics. But now they have all these tools at their disposal. They don't have to stay in this system and feel like, okay, well, I got to be miserable and bide my time, or make a dent here and make a name for myself. And I think, I don't know whether it's because maybe they just don't have it cut out to be at this level and doing this kind of thing as an indie creator, or because maybe they feel like, I don't know if I'm creative enough, if my characters and ideas are really good enough. I don't know if it's a confidence issue, but whatever it is, it's not helping the overall everything. And the industry is kind of been on a downward slide since that mindset started to really set in. But at the same time, I mean, I can't complain too much, because the more that they keep screwing up, the better it is for all the indies.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's driving people into crowdfunding, into Alterna, into basically anybody doing their own thing, which is a good thing for independent creators. It's kind of fascinating just going every day discovering new comics on YouTube, right, that you didn't even see. You get comments and everything. Hey, check out my book or all this other stuff. And
Wait, there's so many
it's
talented people out there, and they
yeah.
got the passion for it, which is it's great to see. It's a wonderful thing that's going on right now that people are actually. I mean, that was something that really worried me. Was I was thinking, because of the decline of the big two, are people still going to want to create comics, or are they still going to want to go, well, you know what? Yeah, I could get into this field. I could create a comic. There's some kind of point to all of this other than just making the story. And I was wondering, is that really going to be the case anymore with those companies on the decline? But as they've declined, the indies have really just, especially with Comicsgate, with a lot of the heavy hitters there, they've paved this path. It's just everyone's just going, oh my God, there's a way. They're carving through the tunnel. We're digging out. And now there's all these people that are so inspired by that, and they're getting really motivated to create their own stories and start their own businesses, and all of this stuff is indie creator owned stuff. So it's not just this, oh, we have to play into the mindset of joining up with a bigger corporate entity and biding our time and building our brand there off of them, and then hopefully we can parlay that success into our own thing. Now it could really just be, no, you just got to put in the effort, the time, you got to build up your own brand, put in your own work, and all that money and time and effort that you would have spent building yourself up while also building up a corporate entity, you just 100% built yourself up instead. So it's a great thing to see. And I think this is a much healthier thing for a lot of these creators. And it's a much better thing for the readers out there too, because they're going to get so many different characters, so many different stories, so many different creators involved that are just all about doing this. Whereas in that other system, a lot of them get lost.
Yeah, no, I think Pete, your company in particular is really nice. Really bringing an option of an affordable newsprint comic book, not only just for the nostalgia, but just for the practicality of it, right? Like, obviously, I like CG, I like the stuff on Indiegogo, but you can't afford every $25, 48-page graphic novel that comes out. So it's nice to see, especially all the Alterna Indiegogo campaigns, every single one of them has at least a $10 newsprint option, which is really, really nice, especially when you're trying to back a lot of different campaigns, right? That's really helpful. Because the other thing about it is for the Alterna guys, you know what you're getting because a lot of them already have published work. So if you're ever curious about Ryan Wynn, you can pick up Gods and Gear and find out, that's what you're going to get likely from Hammerella. Etc. With a lot of the other Alterna creators. If you're wondering what Wirehead's going to be, just go pick up Blood Realm. Obviously, slightly different stories, but you can get a feel for what you're going to get out of Wirehead. But for other creators that are coming out, if they have no portfolio whatsoever, it's kind of hard to justify, $25 48-page graphic novel when you don't know what it's going to be, right?
And those creators have to price accordingly. They have to realize that right now isn't the time for fame and fortune. It's the time to build an audience. It's the time to prove yourself. It's the time to say, look, in exchange for you giving me a little bit of trust in my storytelling capabilities that are unproven at this point, we're going to lower the price so that I can just get this book made, get it out there, and get you as a reader, as opposed to getting just your money. And you should never really go with that anyway, because I think everybody's always charging what they're worth. As soon as they are not charging what they're worth, as soon as they're overcharging, projects don't fund, there's backlash, that kind of a thing. So even if a creator could get $25 for, let's say, a 50-pager or whatever it is, that's because that person is putting in that value and has put in the work already. So if these creators that are up and coming, if they're getting upset with themselves, or maybe they feel like they haven't raised enough or whatever it is, or they're looking at someone else who's been doing this for 20, 30 years and they're saying, hey, they're getting all this money on a book, how come not me? Well, you didn't put 20, 30 years work into it yet. You have to do that. And then you can charge what you're worth. So it's all about that. And then with Alterna, we make it so that we always value getting more readers than anything. Like, I love the fact that, and all of us here, we love the fact that we have a lot of readers. We have a lot of people to talk about the books, and we have a lot of people to talk about the books with them as well, because of the fact that we get that interaction. So that's something that we all love here. And the newsprint price, all that stuff, that enables us to do that. On these future pre-order Indiegogo campaigns, we're going to have the books at $2 a piece. You can do an a la carte system, or you can order all of them and get them all in one bundle. But you can do these add-ons where you're just like, oh, I want to order this, I want to order that, $2 a piece each issue. So we're not going to have like, $5, $6, $7, whatever an issue if you pre-order on Indiegogo, and then $2 on Alterna Access. It's going to be $2 on Indiegogo, obviously plus shipping. It's $5 shipping, but we're going to keep it affordable for people still at the cover price. So it's something where I think a lot of these new creators, they have to realize they got to be competitive, and they got to find some kind of way to stand out.
Yeah, no, definitely. Actually, this is kind of a bit of a tangent, but have you ever read Jim Shooter's blog? He's had like this long run, ongoing blog that he's just.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of it before. Yeah, actually, before you get started, I just noticed this. I'm so sorry, Charlie's London. Thank you so much for the super chat. 19.99 pounds. This is or euros, I should say, or is that pounds? I don't know. I can't tell anymore. Says, gonna head to bed soon, but wanted to drop this here from my favorite publisher, Pete. I'll never forget the advice he gave me on my launch night when I was struggling to put the add-ons on the campaign. You rock. CG UK loves you. Well, thank you so much, Charlie's London. Really appreciate that. And I'm so glad for your success too. There's an example of someone that went out there, built up her platform, was very just not necessarily only just kind to creators, but kind to the readers, kind to everybody, really involved, really getting herself out there to not just promote her own book, but also promote other people's books too. And now is having success with her own title. So anyone that thinks that, I can't really do it, I haven't been around for a while, or, I can't get any kind of success with stuff, I have to start today, start building up your brand, start building up your platform, and think about, not to get very JFK about it or anything, but think about what you can do for others, not necessarily what they can do for you. And that's how you're going to find success. That's how I've always found success.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, congrats to Charlie's on all the success that she's had. Yeah, the other thing I'd like to say, and again, I am unqualified, so, take my advice with a grain of salt. But, if you want to make a great comic, go out and start collecting all the old stuff, because there's years and decades of amazing material out there that you can learn from and learn how to make, great comics. And I brought up the Jim Shooter blog because that blog is a gold mine. You can just learn so much about how things were back in the 80s, and both his successes and his not so great successes, right, in his career. And, go and learn from all of those greats, that were out there.
Yeah.
Those 80s comics were selling like Daredevil, X-Men, even the New Mutants.
Yeah.
All of those things were selling in the hundreds of thousands every month. And that was when, it wasn't the peak of comics, but it was definitely, constantly going up every month, leading into the early 90s. But yeah, man, just check out the old stuff and learn from the old stuff. Because it's, especially if you can get a good deal at a back issue bin somewhere, it's good. It's great stuff.
Yeah. And what I love too is not just even looking into the artists and writers that influence me, but looking also then into their influences too. What influenced them? So keep like going down and down into what the final little, okay, who is the person that really just inspired all of these people? And you'll find often that they're not really, in comics. They're outside of that. They're literature. They're fine artists. They're that kind of a thing. But it's always interesting. Don't just look at the comics of today. If anything, don't look at the comics of today at all. Look at the comics that really speak to you. Those comics could be from 30, 40 years ago. Whatever it is that you find that is to you a high standard of quality. And then make sure that you try your best to learn every single thing about, okay, what did they do with the art? What did they do with the writing? How did they develop characters? How did they work in the lettering? What does that look like? Every single facet. And really try to make sure you're holding yourself to that standard. Don't hold yourself to the modern standard of anything today, because I'll get submissions that come in today, and I notice a market decline in the quality of submissions ever since there's been a market decline in the big two's books. Everyone's looking at them and saying, well, they're the bar. They're the things that I have to aspire to. All right, well, I look at that and I reject 99% of it because it's not there. The quality isn't there. Because when I look at what I consider a quality book, I'm looking at all this stuff from decades ago that is still around today and in such a very big way still just as influential, if not more so, on a lot of different creators. And I'm looking at that as that's the standard. So when I'm seeing that and I'm comparing it to the stuff of today, I'm like, it's completely amateur hour stuff that's out right now. So a lot of the submissions coming in, and it's not their fault, but they're looking at what's out currently and saying, okay, I just have to be as good as like the worst book. Like I think McFarlane had said something like that a while ago when he was trying to get a job. He's like, I just have to be better than their worst artist, and then I can get a job. And I think a lot of people are kind of taking that and they're applying it to today and saying, well, I'm just as good or a little better than the worst writer or artist at the big two, then I'm good enough. And to me, it's just it's horrible. That level of quality at this point, if you say, okay, I'm shooting for that, absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. You have to still work. You still have to put in a lot of time and effort in developing your style and to developing every single thing that's fundamental about whatever it is that you're working on, whether it's writing, art, inking, coloring, lettering, whatever. And then don't be afraid to put your stuff out there and get some feedback on it. I find a lot of people also don't want to get feedback on it. They react very badly to even kind feedback when I give it to them. So it's a strange thing. I've noticed it over the past 6 years, though, a very big decline across the board.
Well, I mean, I guess if you think about it, there's no real editorial, right, in the indie, I guess, CG, et cetera, scene, right? So back in the old days, whether it was Chris Claremont, Frank Miller, all the others, they had to go through the meat grinder of editorial. Whether it was, Louise Simonson editing Chris Claremont, all of them got oversawn by Jim Shooter, who was notoriously brutal, right? And, to be fair, the editing back then was outstanding. I mean, they really knew their job, and they didn't edit, maliciously. They were editing to make the best book possible. But I think some people kind of forget that editing is, especially, what you're doing, which is really a kindness. You're not getting paid to give feedback to people. You're just doing it to help them out, Pete. That you're even doing that is incredibly helpful. And they really, people need to realize that editing is your friend. The people are trying to help your product become better.
Yeah, I want to help you to succeed.
Yeah.
To
point out issues that you can't see because you're too close to the product, right? You're too close to the art and to the writing, so you can't really see sometimes the issues or the problems. And you need that outside person to show that to you, right? Like in the olden days, that was usually done by an editor back when they paid editors and things were a little more professional. Nowadays, I don't know if it's really being done anymore at comics, but in the indie comic scene, you don't really have an editor, but you really should consider at least consulting people and asking for feedback, because otherwise, you could miss something potentially really bad. And, that is the product. That's the product. The product is you, right? You only get one chance to make a first impression, and you want to do the absolute best you possibly can.
Yeah.
There's no takebacks.
Never be afraid to continue to learn too. A lot of people, they think that, that this type of thing is if they don't just get it and nail it out and it's a homer right out of the park on the first swing is oh my God, I'm a massive failure, I'll never have success. Don't do that to yourself. So many people do that. This is all a journey. You could be the most successful person in anything you do, but it doesn't mean that that's it, that okay, well, I had success, I'm done, I'm out, and you just walk away. You could do that, but for most people, that's not going to be the case. You're going to learn something new all the time. So never be afraid to continue to learn. If anything, you should look forward to that. That's going to keep you growing as an artist. It's going to also keep you even looking towards that next success while also having the other mindset of remembering what it was like to still struggle. And so it keeps you grounded as opposed to getting this weird arrogance and, all of a sudden you're like, I'm on the other side of the table. How do you dare tell me what to do? I hate that attitude. It's the worst attitude to have. But I have to let you go. I've got a couple.
Sorry for going on too long here.
No problem at all. It was a great conversation with you, man. Anything else you wanted to say before you left?
Oh, no, just thank you for having me on, Pete. Sorry for taking so long. I didn't realize I was on that long, but I really appreciate the opportunity to talk. This is actually the first live stream I've ever been on.
Oh, no way.
And
fantastic.
Yeah, no, I usually just do video reviews and other little side commentary on my channel. I do Alterna and CG projects, and people who know me I do a ton of old comics. So I love gushing about all the old stuff from the 80s. And that's kind of what my channel is all about. I also do a lot of foreign stuff too. So if you're interested in manga or the French Belgium bande dessinée, I do a lot of those as well.
Wow.
But anyway, I'll get off here and stop taking your time, Pete.
All right, awesome. Everybody go check out Unqualified Comics on YouTube. Wonderful YouTube channel and great taste in comics. How do I know? Because he likes Alterna. Thank you so much, buddy. Have a great night. All right, let's take 30 seconds to just a little bit of a break. For a commercial. Not quite a commercial, but it's a trailer. 30 seconds, we'll be back.
Tiger.
All right, we are back, and looks like Comic Book Radio is going to move forward in just a second, but I do have a question here in the chat from Mighty Joe. Mighty Joe asks, since you brought it up, influences, what are your thoughts on adapting prose fiction into graphic novel format just to level up on artwork? I mean, you could do that. Just make sure that your script is on point. Make sure that you're thinking about it in terms of constructing it as a comic, of course, because there are differences. Because you wouldn't be as overly descriptive in the comic. You could be descriptive, and I encourage you to be descriptive, obviously, in the comic script, both to the artist you work with and to the reader reading it. But there's still differences. But yeah, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. If anything, it'd at least be a good exercise. All right. Now, our next guest, that is one George Peter Gatsis. Hey, George.
Hi, Pete. Hi, Chad.
How's it going?
It's going great. I just have one thing to say, and I'll be out. Right? Are you ready?
Sure. Turbines to speed.
That's all I have to say. This is it.
That's beautiful.
Oh, it took me a while to find it.
Oh man, when did you get that?
Oh, this was, I don't know. This was a couple of years ago. It was a collectible at a comic book store. They said, there's a few of these that just came out. There's going to be mass produced, blah blah blah, and the wheels don't work. I mean, it's just solid.
That's awesome, though.
But
beautiful.
But it bends.
That's great.
That's it. Because when you notice the spaceship, here's part of the spaceship.
Oh yeah, the Batman 66 influence. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like yes, Pete gets it. There it is. Oh, it's great. By the way, this is what it looks like in color as I'm building it.
Oh, that's awesome. Very nice, man. Wow.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about right here. Speaking of the influences that influence your influences. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I did have the Hot Wheels Batman, and
nice.
I couldn't find it. The Hot Wheels version of the.
It's small.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
And I went looking for it. I go like, I might as well just go buy it. Amazon selling them for almost $400.
Oof. Wow.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's it. Thank you, Pete. Thank you so much. Oh, and again, I'd like to thank Alterna for giving me a platform for the Joking book. It was a wonderful success, and much love. Thank you so much.
That's great, man. Very happy to hear it. Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing that awesome Batmobile.
All right, take care.
Take it easy. Oh, man. Yeah, love that. Love Batman 66. I love Batman 89. I love all different kinds of Batman. One of my favorites. There's a couple I don't like, but I don't even remember them. I don't bother filing that away. When I see it, I know it. I know, I don't like it. But Love Batman 66. Adam West is amazing. Burt Ward was fantastic. They were all great. Burgess Meredith, Penguin, oh, Cesar Romero. Give me Mustache Joker any day of the week. They were fantastic. Let's see. I think I saw a question here by Gerald. Gerald asks, are the April-May releases on the site scheduled pushed to June? Yeah, unfortunately they are. So that's like, I think, Downcast number 2, T-Bird and Throttle number 2, XII number 9, Red Koi number 4, a couple in there. So yeah, they're going to be pushed to June now. It's this whole stuff with all the delays and the production schedule and the press time and the everything. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. We used to be able to get books out within just every single month, getting books out. And then all this nonsense has occurred. And now we're lucky every 4 months when we can get something out. Even right now with getting a book to print, usually within like a week or two, they would print up whatever we needed. Now it's turned into a month and a half. Last time on the first wave of books, I think it was like 2 months to get the books printed. And then it was a month almost to get the books shipped to us. It's so frustrating. For the next Indiegogo stuff, though, I'm definitely going to keep that in mind. This way I can actually push back the dates. And then this way you guys will get books early as opposed to getting books later. So it's all about just shifting how to operate business. This whole past year has been just you have to adapt. That's all it is. But yeah, Batman. X-Gal Batman 89 is still my favorite. I love Batman. Batman Returns. Forever was. That's when it was on the decline for me. I was like, when I was a kid, I remember thinking Tommy Lee Jones. You know, I saw Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, perfect choice for Two-Face. You know, as long as he acts like that, he's great for Two-Face. Because Two-Face to me when I was a kid was mostly from the Batman animated series. And then he's like hamming it up and he's acting worse than the Joker. It's so disappointing. Whatever. Should have got Billy D. Kept stuck with him. He was Harvey Dent in 89. He could have done it. All right. Let's see. Let's get to our thank you, Jasper. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you again for the support too. Really, really appreciate it. All right, let's get to our next guest, and that would be Fizz Chozo. Hey, what's up?
Hi, it's Fishozo. We degenerate and aspiring comic book writer. Doing a live stream on May 3rd to help other aspiring comic book writers to find artists, high quality artists.
Great.
Various websites. I'm doing an art promotion live stream. I actually got 2 people. I'm actually going to have on planning to have 2 other people on panel with me. Joe M. Sontag. You heard that guy, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I forgot this man's name. I gotta get to know him more. Some other guy I found on Facebook. A message on Facebook who may or may not know about Comicsgate, but whatever. I'm promoting his book.
What's his name?
Exactly. I forgot. I ain't interact with her enough to remember, so I forgot.
All right. So you're having like a talent search type stream on the 3rd?
Yeah. That's actually great. Promoting talent for us aspiring writers to contact, because
that's awesome.
If you can't draw just like me, I was in this position. Can't draw, look like me. If you're just like me, you can't draw. You should go online, look for artists. I mean, that's what I did.
Yeah, it could absolutely. Be hard. That's the way to do it.
Like seriously now. I discovered ArtStation. You heard that website?
ArtStation?
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard of ArtStation.
Yeah, I discovered that website in late last year. The artists on that website can draw really, really well. I mean, you just gotta type in on artstation.com. Just type in on your computer. You can see all the amazing stuff that's on there. They all have their contact information and everything.
Wow.
So the artist who did the first 3 pieces of concept art for my comic Goofanoid is was on there. That's how I discovered him. I had to get another artist because he is personal issues he had, so you want to talk about, but he couldn't finish my comic. So a lot of these artists can draw really well, but never had any experience in the mainstream industry or any kind of mainstream industry. Yeah, exactly. Anton Dennison's right there. But I'm trying to do art promotion last stream and talent search essentially, and I got several people promoting their books on there. Well, at
Good.
least several people who probably for outside of Comics Gate. You probably don't know I'm Comics Gate, but it don't matter. I just trying to promote good books, good art that I see.
Well, I hope you see how you say that it doesn't matter to you. I hope they feel the same way. I really do. Unfortunately, a lot of ridiculous people don't. They treat it like it's some kind of I don't know. You got the plague or something. And it's just that's not the case at all. But I hope that they're just as accepting of you as you are of them.
Okay, I hope so too. Also, I want to advertise a Patreon goal I have right now.
Sure.
This goal right here, in order to get more pages of my comic completed, which is called Goofanoid, about a clown superhero. In order to get more pages completed, you're gonna have I want people to pay $1.50, a whole bunch of people to get this book funded, essentially. So get the pages funded essentially. Then have an Indiegogo campaign. But the thing is, and eventually within the next month, you will actually gain early access to the first the 3 pages of the book I already paid for. But the goal right here, this is actually for our Renzo Rodriguez variant cover. Yeah,
wow.
If you see the artwork in Thomas Valiant, the Indiegogo campaign made by RJ from the Fourth Age YouTube channel, you know who Renzo Rodriguez is.
Yeah. See, Chad says you're 19 years old, Fizz. It took me ages to get good at drawing. Don't give up on the dream, bud. Yeah, keep working at it. And in the meanwhile, you can hire an artist.
Yeah, I'm hiring an artist, Polish guy.
There you go.
Well, who's actually younger than me, but's better at drawing. Really.
How much younger? You hiring a 12-year-old?
No, he's about I think he's about 17, 18.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, I can never draw as well as any of these artists. I'm not good at that's not good. I was really good at that. What I am good at is coming up with outrageous stories. That's why I always want to be a Dungeons and Dragons DM.
Well, you've got the talent for telling stories. Then, if you want to go down that path, but Fizchozo, so this whole thing is going to be on your YouTube channel, right? This talent search type show.
Yes. I want other aspiring writers to show up in the chat.
Okay, great. And you're going to be having artists on there that you can actually show their work, and then people can get paired up, and then hopefully you can get.
I also will have artists who's not on the panel. I'm going to showcase their work as well, and place links to their websites in the chat.
That's great. Good stuff, man.
I'm trying to get monetized because, like I said, need money to make my comic. I plan
very direct. He's very direct. It shows us like, well, I'm doing this because I'm trying to make money.
Yeah. See, my Indiegogo campaign I plan to launch in July. If you don't, it's kind of soon, yes, but I plan to launch in July, and I need to build my channel because I can't rely on getting on other channels. At least not to everybody know who I am.
Yeah. Well, obviously, you should be building up your own platform, your own channel, whatever it may be. Don't just rely 100% on just appearing on someone else's channel or channels. Always build up your own. Yeah, it's a good strategy.
Yeah. Before the live streams, I was making pre-recorded videos, but those don't do well. So I just let's forget about it.
Yeah,
So,
I find pre-recorded videos. It's like it's good to get your channel established and get the algorithm working for you, but you don't. For me anyway, the live stream stuff always is done better.
I
But for
know.
other people, the pre-recorded videos do great for them. It's all over the place. It depends, I guess, what you talk about. It depends whether or not the algorithm is kind to you. If you work with
It's
it,
not kind of me.
but yeah,
My videos tend to get single digit views. Or
there you go.
so
Hey, we all
no.
start somewhere.
So I've been making videos since the start of this year, and it's like no, just forget about it. So that's the last. Just trying to do live streams now.
That's great.
So as I'm just doing on this channel to get other people to go there and try to share aspects of my comic universe I'm building. Like the one thing I want to talk about is like how my universe is built vastly differently from Marvel and DC, because if you don't know how my comic universe was inspired, it was not inspired by Marvel and DC so much as I just started a bunch of superheroes that is intended to be standalone. But then I realized, wait, why can't I just put them together? That's why it's so wildly different. Since I gotta establish each character first, though.
Yeah.
And man, like for example, how I handle the multiverse in my comic universe is nothing like Marvel and DC. Multiverse in my comic universe is essentially different worlds entirely. Like, yo, watch Harry Potter, how they go from the normal human world to the wizard world.
I don't watch Harry Potter. Harry Potter's for dorks.
Okay, you ever watch Lord of the Rings?
That's for dorks too. Oh, Lord of the Rings for dorks. No, yeah.
Watch any fancy?
That's for dorks.
Fancy world.
All of fantasy stuff's for dorks.
Well, anyways, it's a different world.
I love
they got different worlds with different rules entirely. And my character and characters and stuff can actually cross over between different worlds, and this starts happening later down the road. And this actually causes major ramifications when you got major name characters crossing over and getting involved into the human world with superheroes.
No, Dale, I love Lord of the Rings. I've got a Gandalf figure. I've got a Gandalf action figure, not a doll, an action figure.
Look,
he says, "You shall not pass" when you hit a button.
Picture a orc from Lord of the Rings crossing over against stuck in the human world, in the modern human world from another dimension or something like that. Very interesting.
If an orc came here, you mean?
Yeah. Or a whole bunch of other weird stuff. There's a whole bunch of different worlds that are very different, but there's a main one that I hadn't thought of the name of yet, because I'm bad at maps and I'm bad at high fantasy stuff. Like I'm not good with high fantasy stuff. I'm bad at making up names. I'm bad at making up maps and stuff. So I didn't name the main fantasy world yet.
Gotcha. Well, don't give away all your secrets. Save some of this for your channel. Don't
I know that's what I'm doing.
Spill the beans on mine.
I know, but I just need to go over
breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs to your channel.
I know that's why I want somebody to link my channel in the chat.
Oh, don't you you're a mod on this channel, aren't you? You can link your own channel.
Yeah, I will.
All right, good. Fizz Chozo, thank you so much for joining me today, man. Anything else you want to say before you go?
No, that's it.
All right, that's it. Fizz Chozo, a man of many words, and they're all very interesting. Everybody go to his channel. He's going to be tagging in a link on YouTube that you guys can go subscribe and then listen to more of Fizz Chozo's awesome stories on his own channel. And then join on the 3rd, correct? That's when you're going to have that talent search stream?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Bye.
Fantastic. Have a great evening, Fizz Chozo.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Fizz Chozo is very, very direct. When I'm like, anything else you like to say? No. That was it. Cracks me up. He really does. All right. So I don't have anybody waiting right now. I'm going to be doing the unboxing. Let's get to it. All right. So this is Don Chin's X-Farce. All right. So this was in a priority mail envelope, but something tells me because of the way that it's packed, he's got it in a Gemini mailer inside of it, which is above and beyond from the Don. Yeah, he does. Look at that. Oh, it's nice and clean. I can reuse this. Thank you so much, Don. Beautiful. All right, let's see what's in here. What the heck did I order? I don't know anymore. It's been a while. All right, so got it nice in there. He's got a cardboard to protect it. That's very nice. Everything looks fantastic. Everything arrived perfect. Don's got a little letter here, and then he signs it. That's so classy. Far more classy than me, Don. And he says, P.S. Thank you for all you do for Comicdom. So he actually knows that he's writing it to me. That's so sweet of you, Don. Thank you so much. All right, look at this. Okay, I got the Rob Willis cover. That looks beautiful. And then I guess I got the 3-pack, or is this a stretch goal, or I don't know, something or other. I got that with it. Whoa, what is this? This is I did not expect this. Was this something that was supposed to be in it, or is this specifically to me? I don't know. From yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I think this is something that he just gave to me. What the heck? I gotta take a look at this. I think this is from Adolescent Radioactive Black Belt Hamsters. And he signed it to Pete. Well, thank you, Don. Jeez, man. I did not expect that. It's great. Great stuff. He packed it really well, shipped it in a Gemini mailer, and then put it inside of the priority flat rate envelope. Spectacular job, Don. Anybody else get the... yeah, it's signed. Yeah. Anybody else get X-Farce from Don Chin? Can't wait to crack that open later and give it a look. Awesome stuff. All right. Okay. We'll be back in 30 seconds playing another trailer. Thank you, guys.
Come get some.
Yeah. All right. Gerald Lang says, hey, Pete, I seen you have the Exilium trade in stock. Just ordered it. Yeah, we got in. Okay, so we departed from our book distributor, and I got in everything that I could that they had in overstock. So it turned out that they had a bunch of Exiliums, Edens, Feast or Famines, Tinseltowns, a couple other books too, and we just put them back up on the site. And right now, all the graphic novels are 10% off. No code required. That's just the sale we have going on right now. All right, so let's get our next. I got the She book to unbox, but let's get our next guest in here. They're patiently waiting right now, and that would be Cider. What's up, Cider?
Oh, hey, man. You'll be glad to know I didn't bring any butts with me this time either.
Fantastic.
But I did bring some memes. Have you ever had memes made for you, Pete?
No. Actually, no, that's a lie. I have had them made for me. Of me.
If you share my screen, I'm told this is no copyright music. I went and searched it twice to make sure.
Okay. No butts on this either, right?
No butts.
All right. No butts. No butts allowed.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. That's a very stunningly handsome fellow.
Just thought that would be fun for you here, you know. Mingling the shilling with a little bit of memeing, huh?
That's amazing. Oh man. Holy smokes. How'd you do that so fast?
It's just a skill, man. You pick it up with the trade being out here on the internet this long. But yeah, I could
That
send
was
that too if
great.
you want to throw it in with your bumpers and stuff.
I absolutely will. Yeah, send that to me. Yeah, send me a DM with it or something. Pages. Cider does not have a reputation for bringing butts. What it is that Cider sounds so composed and so like ready to go. And he was on. I think it was the feedback forum with me and Frankie.
Oh
B.
yeah, right.
And so you joined, and you were so like gung ho and just like composed and just articulate and eloquent. And I was like, man, I got a bad feeling like this guy's gonna show me a butt. Because we've had that happen before on the show. And I had the button ready to go the whole time to kick you out. And people, they remember the full moon fiasco a long time ago, about a year or so ago at this point, I think. And then even the first, I think, comic book radio, I think we closed off and someone was trying to show butts. And
Wow.
I was like to Frankie, I was like, I think this guy's going to show a butt. And I said it right to you. I was like, look, if you've got a butt to show, get out of here. And you were like, what? I don't understand. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh shit.
no butts.
I'm sorry. But you had a wonderful presentation. You were very charming and eloquent, and you talked very nice. And I, apologized to you at the end.
Absolutely.
That I had assumed such awful things about you. Thank you for stopping by again. It's nice to see you.
I did want to show you something real quick on here. I took your guys' advice from here, and I made the character up at the top interact with the logo a little more.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. See, yeah, very good.
Feels a little more involved with it now, right?
Yeah, it feels like it's not just like floating around. It feels like it's part of the image.
Righteous. And I'm working on the lettering. I'll bring that back to the help stream there, the give feedback stream, see what you guys think of it there when I'm done with it. But yeah, guys, this is the Colossals mailing list. You want to go check out the stuff that I was given some advice on here. There's also brand new Colossals theme song right there at the top for you to listen to. And we update this every week. So there's new stuff to look at every week. If this is not what you want to see today, check back next week here in a couple of days. See if you find something you like then.
Oh, awesome. When do you plan on actually launching the project?
It's looking like it's going to be the second week of June, somewhere in the 15th. I just want to make sure I get the 10 preview pages ready. Everything's colored. The lettering looks right. I really want to make sure I slam dunk that. So
fantastic. And not to curtail this whole thing here, but Aris says I was there for that, unfortunately. Yeah, and he's referring to the full moon fiasco that we had on a Fan Friday. It was pretty bad. I think it was either one person 3 separate times or 3 different people. It was most likely one person 3 separate times. They were under the guise of, I think actually one of them was Ara's avatar, and he pretended to be him for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it was just butts on the screen. Wow. That was horrible.
It's got its own name too, like the Boston Massacre. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was quite the event. But I think the stream is actually privated because at this point it could actually be like a
COPPA violation.
Some kind of it really could.
Well, hey, you know what, man? If you want to put a T-shirt store together, you put a T-shirt up there, just plain font that says "I survived the,"
Yeah, that's true.
Butt fiasco.
Yeah,
the butt flash.
I
fiasco.
survived the full moon fiasco, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
Perfect. See. Make millions of dollars, man. Just like the meme, raining from the sky. Anyway, I've held up enough. Good luck with your next review. I hope the next book is great, just like the last one.
Oh, thank you so much, man. And thanks for stopping by again. And seriously, anytime you feel like stopping by to give us an update on your project, please feel free to do so.
All right. I really appreciate that, man. And I promise, no butts.
All right. Well, there you go. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Cider with the classy exit as opposed to the other kind of exit. All right, so the next thing we got to do here is open up this Billy Tucci package. Let's see what I've got. I don't know what I ordered. I think I just got the book, just the standard Billy Tucci cover. Yes, I did. Oh, look at that. Sweet. Thank you so much, Billy. This thing arrived in perfect shape. It was inside I don't think it's a Gemini mailer. I know Billy gets it from somewhere else. I forget. But he put it inside of a bubble sleeve and signed right there. Fantastic. And then some of the extras. I got to check out what these are. Let's see. It's like a bunch of the trading cards. Man, these things look fantastic. Goodness gracious. They smell nice, too. These came out fantastic, Billy. Anybody in here get the Billy Tucci Shi Haikyo Indiegogo? Or I think he had a Kickstarter, too. I think he ran that as well. Nice die cut sticker, a nice magnet. And then it looks like, let's see, there's a print. And then I think this is a tattoo right there. Great stuff, Billy. Looks fantastic. Man, oh man. So many talented people making comics right now. Just wonderful. All right. Good stuff. I'll have to take a deeper look at that later. Okie doke. All right. Gerald says that, yeah, you got the Shi Haikyo. Awesome. Very, very nice. Made in Hell says, what? No 3 miles of shrink wrap? Hey, we might put 3 miles of shrink wrap on some of these things, but it's only so it arrives to you in tip-top shape. How many cards is that? It's a bunch. That's my professional counting. It's it looks like it's at least, oh man, he's even got the card there of his wife for back in the day, Debbie. Goodness. He did a good job with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to say it's either like 6 or 8. Something like that. Maybe 9. There might be one hiding there. Let's see. Johnny GTO says 9. So if it is, yeah, it might be 9. It looks like it could be 9. Great stuff. Thank you so much again, Billy. And all right, let's see if we could get our next guest up here right now. That would be Chad. What's up, Chad?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, so when you pack your stuff, do you stock up on a lot of newspaper? What do you do? You go hit the machine and put 1 quarter in and
No. What it is that the apartment complex that I live at, there's a recycling bin. And when everyone gets their flyers, their grocery store flyers, they just chuck them all in there. And so I just pick them up and I just take stacks of grocery store flyers. Or sometimes if I'm super desperate, I actually go to the grocery store the day of when they're swapping out for the new flyers, and they're just giving them away. And they'll literally put up a sign that says, take as many as you want. And I do that. So I'll just take
yeah,
a stack.
I'll take all these off your hand here.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Just my little part of helping the planet.
I was just kind of curious. I mean, I got your package of my order this past week, so I almost feel like you overdo it, with the huge box.
I have to. You won't believe it sometimes. Like I'll ship things that I'm just like, there's no way on earth anything gets damaged, and then it'll get damaged.
Really?
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
So you never tried to go to the Gemini and Miller route?
Well, it's not with that. It's more the boxes. When I try to do the Gemini, because Gemini mailers, it's like you really can't ship a lot of different things in the Gemini mailer. So, if someone orders like 20 issues, I can't do a Gemini mailer. I got to do a box. If someone orders like 50 or 60 issues, I have to put a box within a box. This way,
I almost feel like I'm taking advantage of you.
How so?
The free shipping thing. I think it's asking a lot. I mean,
no.
And I think part of it too is when I do my orders, I don't order everything you have listed. that I don't have, I kind of wait until my next order so I can pad.
Good. That's what you should do.
So I'm now waiting for your next set of books you're gonna list. So I'm looking
good.
forward to that. I saw a few of them that look pretty interesting that you mentioned on Twitter not long ago. So
oh yeah, we've got Rad Rose is coming out as well, and that's going to be the debut issue of that. Just one of the best books I think we're going to be having coming out just in general, in terms of just since we started the newsprint line. David Chiza and Christian Rossi on Voidwalker, Trespasser, you guys are familiar with his art, and knocking it out of the park. And the thing is, it's interesting with that issue too, because David was trying to go for something different in the beginning, and I was like, it feels like you're holding back. It feels like you're trying to tell a story that like you're too shy about telling. I'm like, just go for it. Just make it epic. Just make it, put the action in there. Just make it unabashedly this mixture of sci-fi, fantasy, superhero, action, a little bit of horror, and just go with it. And so we talked, and he revised the first issue, and he did such a great job. The first issue is probably one of the best first issues we've ever had at Alterna. Fantastic issue.
I can't wait to see it. I love the art on Voidwalker. And so he only did the 4 issues of Voidwalker, and he's on this thing now.
Yeah, and they're going to continue Voidwalker. It's just
more good.
It's more just between Spencer working on Can't Kill Cade and then a couple of his own side projects and building up everything else. He's already got the Giant is in the works for Voidwalker 1 through 4, and then I think issues 5 through 7 or 5 through 8 are in the works right now, and they're planning everything out with the same creative team too. Christian's on board to do the art for that as well. But between Christian's got, I think, like 6 or 7 titles that he's on with just Alterna and then other books. But he's fast though. He's crazy fast. Like he did a cover if it came out on the Wednesday, and I think it was issue 10. And I told him, I was like, you got 3 months, don't worry about it. And in like a week, he's like, okay, how's this? I'm like, I said 3 months. 3 months, Christian. He's like, yeah, but I went with it, and now it's pretty much done. I'm like, all right. And I made up something to kind of, make him feel like I'm editing his work. And I was like, make it a little lighter here. And then he's like, okay. And I was like, because he was
probably just has that
perfect.
He probably has that mentality that I do, where I just, if I wait too long, it doesn't happen. So I have to jump on it immediately and knock it out. Otherwise, the motivation gets lost after a period of time.
I get exactly why he did that, but it was so funny though, because he's so quick with all of his stuff, and it's near impossible to critique him sometime because it's so damn good right off the bat. So when he colored it, I was like, oh, well, make it a little bit lighter instead of this certain spot. And then I tweaked it back to what he had anyway. And I told him afterwards, I was like, I only did that to kind of try to tell you, like, I was actually editing anything you did, because it just seemed like if I just let you go with it, that it's like I didn't really care enough to say anything. And he just had a good laugh about it. But he was just fantastic about the whole thing. Christian's so awesome. I've known him for years now.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the next issue of Can't Kill Cade. The first one, I really dug the art in it. It's got a to me, that it's got a punk indie style to it. I loved a lot of the Ninja Turtles and Lobo and that sort of stuff back in the 80s, and that has that feel to me.
Yeah, it really reminds me of like the Lobo feel, like the Simon Bisley era of Lobo, which is just like this crazy ultra violence, this really weird sense of humor. Yeah, really good stuff.
That's cool. So I watched you unbox your She books, and it reminds me, I met Billy Tucci right before he published She #1.
Oh, no way. Wow.
And it was back in Philadelphia at a convention. It was the only convention that, you remember Heroes magazine?
Yeah.
They were trying to come out and compete with Wizard.
With Wizard, yeah.
And so they decided to put on a convention, and one of the big things that was a draw about the convention was the Peter David Todd McFarlane debate, which I recorded that and I have it on a cassette somewhere and I can't even find the darn thing. But anyway, I was working for a comic shop at the time, and I drove out and set up, and Billy Tucci knew my boss, who's an original art dealer he still buys and sells art to this day. And he pulls out the cover of She Number One and shows it to me, like right there at the table. And I feel really bad because at the time I was about 19 or 20, and I was apprenticing with quite a few different comic inkers in the industry at the time. And I critiqued a little bit of his piece, and I feel so bad to this day.
Did you say something horrible, or was it just?
I was kind of a little bit of a cocky little shit, at the time, and and I was critiquing this two swords that go up on the sides, and he was using like the finest little line to show the edges of the swords, and had the heaviest lines on the figure, She's face. And I said, man, you gotta fatten up those lines on the swords so they pop out more. And he never did it. But now looking back to this day, I think he was fine with just how he did it. I don't think it really matters anymore. But I was just going off the stuff that I was taught at the time, and now I feel like such a dumbass when I think about it. But yeah, so I met Billy Tucci at that convention. I met Mr. T, which was the coolest thing I had ever done in my life. That guy is, if you're gonna go meet any celebrity, go meet Mr. T. He is one of the coolest. Him and Danny Trejo from Machete.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Danny Trejo was great.
Those two guys, they will throw their arms around you and treat you like you're their long lost friend. And that's how amazing those two guys are. Anyway. And I remember meeting Overstreet. Jim, I think it was Jim Overstreet is his name. I met Overstreet at that convention. And Jeff Parker is where I first met Jeff Parker, writer at Marvel and DC. And anyway, I went off on a tangent.
That's awesome though about Billy. Did you ever tell him that?
I've never told Billy that. I would love to tell Billy that and just say, Billy, please forgive me for being such a jerk punk kid back to you in that day, because you were right all along. I was wrong. Anyway.
Yeah, man. Well, if you don't get to actually tell him that, maybe even just timestamp this and then just send it to him.
I think I will. I'll try to find a way, or
make amends.
I'll get somebody else in CG to do it for me. Anyway, I just wanted to jump in. You said you had nobody on, and I love all your books, Pete.
Thank you, man.
Keep doing what you're doing. It's a fantastic thing. I love buying what you got. I keep thinking about all the stuff I want to buy from you, but I just kind of hold back.
Good. You got to pace yourself. There's a lot of stuff here, and it's good that you're waiting till you have stuff to get free shipping. Everybody should take advantage of that. Nothing makes me more frustrated than when I see someone that paid for shipping and it's at the $25 level after they paid for shipping. I'm like, you could have just get your $5 more books and just say, what are you doing? Get the free shipping.
Yep, it is well worth it. It makes me feel like I did when I was a kid. Back in the 80s, I would go to the comic shop and, I would mow lawns on the weekends so I could earn money to buy my comics. And for like $10-20, I would go out with a stack like this, every week. And I was able to pick everything I wanted off the shelf. Now I go to a comic shop and most of the stuff I'm not even interested in, and I couldn't even go out of the shop for that price. But
Yeah.
what you're doing, I feel like I'm getting my money's worth out of your books. So
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
and your books keep getting better and better and better. Like you're getting better people working on these titles, and I'm very impressed. So
Yeah, it's I love the fact that we get all these really talented creators here telling awesome stories, and then it's a collaborative effort too, because they know that it can always bounce ideas off with me and say, okay, do you think this would work? Do you think that would work? You know, what about that? And it's not something where I'm going to come in and say, oh, well, make sure that you give me credit because I came up with that idea. I just want them to have a blast. I want them to tell the best story that they could tell, and I think it shows. I think you're right. We have had consistently better and better books coming out in the past 3 years, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what holds for the future, because it's there's a lot of really good stuff that's on the horizon that some of it I can't really talk about, but even things too, like getting really talented artists for the covers of It Came Out on a Wednesday, like Rob Willis and Ken Rocafort, and
man,
just to see that series itself is going to get to an issue 20 soon is just insane.
it's my aspiration to do stories, some short stories for that. So I'm working on it.
Well, you're a talented fella. I can't wait to see what you got, man.
I've been working on a short 10 pager, and then I know once I finish it, you're gonna say, well, where's the other 20 and 30 pages? That's all right though. I'll have it to you soon. It's
Okay.
my goal. So anybody watching, and then I'm hearing Fizz Chozo, by the way, if you're still listening, Fizz, I'm 48 years old now, and I don't feel like I didn't get anywhere until I got into my 40s. I didn't get hired by Disney until I was 38. So I don't know. Gary Gianni, you ever heard of Gary Gianni, Pete?
The name sounds vaguely familiar.
He did a book called The Monster Men, I think, for Dark Horse.
Okay. Yeah. I know the book. Yeah.
All right. So Gary ended up also doing the Prince Valiant series in the newspapers. He didn't break into comics as an artist until he was in his 40s. So him and George Lucas didn't make Star Wars until he was in his 30s. So Fizz, you're only 19. Don't give up now just because you feel like you can't draw. You got to put in the time. Athletes, they train every day. You got to train every day. So at least 15 minutes a day drawing, and don't give up on your dreams. Any of you guys that want to draw for a living, don't give up. It just takes a lot of work and a lot of effort, and you're going to cry and you're going to be heartbroken and you're going to hurt many times over. But at some point you're going to reach a level where the stuff that you think about will end up on a piece of paper, and it just takes a lot of effort. So anyway, I just want to end that note, and I'll talk to you later. You have a good evening, Pete.
All right, man. Yeah, thank you so much. You have a good evening too, Chad. All
Take
the
care.
best.
Thanks.
Yeah, Chad's a talented dude. I don't know if you guys have seen his art. Really, really good stuff. Absolutely. William asks, can you talk about T-Bird and Throttle? Is your series the same as his crowdfunded graphic novel, but broken up or different? It's the same. It's broken up. There's no extras, though. So it's just the story. I know on a couple of the books, Josh has some extras and things like that, gallery and whatever back matter. But on the Giants, it's just the story. I think the first issue, it has like a zero issue, like a premise kind of thing set up. For the T-Bird and Throttle, it has it at the end. But other than that, there's no any of the extras. And obviously the extras that are included with the crowdfunder are not included with that Giant. But also it's not newsprint. Newsprint's really good. You gotta get the newsprint. It's worth the $4.99. It's really, really good. Also, something that is not in the crowdfunded version. Okay, so here's the Giant. And if you notice, if you get like a dinged and dented one, you can actually take it apart if you'd like and get a pull-out poster. So the inside covers are this without trade dress. So there you go. But yeah, he's got, it looks fantastic too. But he's got the zero, the origin, the zero issue. He's got that in there. But that's the only extra he's got. Everything else is just story. See, Gerald asks, what is Rad Rose about? Rad Rose is about a character, Rose, that she was human, and then she got killed, and she got elevated to God status. And she was a fighter, a warrior, a soldier. And she got elevated to such a level where she competed in this thing where the gods would fight each other. And it would be kind of like almost like a gladiatorial competition. And she would win and ended up killing all the gods. Now, I'm not spoiling anything because that's actually the premise of the book. And then she fell from grace and she became immortal again, a human. And the gods, though, they start to regenerate and now they're after her. So they're hunting her down and they're sending their minions after her as now she's on Earth trying to live a normal, simple life as a martial arts instructor. And she basically has to meet up with that past that she tried so hard to get away from, because she discovered how all the gods, they're evil, they're destructive, they're these awful things. So she killed them. You can't really kill gods. So it's that kind of a thing, that kind of a premise, but just all out epic, over the top, but at the same time still very grounded in terms of the emotions and motivations of the characters, which I think is the best way to tell any kind of story. You have these fantastical story elements, but you keep the motivations and personalities grounded. Otherwise, you just have characters you can't understand or relate to in any way, shape, or form. Let's see. William says, thanks, Pete. Love the first issue. We'll be getting the series. Yeah, it's an awesome series. I don't know if Josh is going to continue it past the 4 issues, but if he does and he wants to, I mean, the door is always open, I think, not just for him to continue to do so on Indiegogo with his own creator versions. I think he's got I think it's How Rad Comics is his company, his imprint. But we can always continue to publish them through Alterna. Let's see. Unqualified Comics says that book is awesome. Yeah. T-Bird and Throttle is great. But Rad Rose is going to be a lot of fun. Christian Rossi, who does the art on Voidwalker, is bringing that same kind of flair for action and sci-fi to Rad Rose as well. Let me see if I can actually share that with you guys. Let's see. Bring that up right here. Let me see. I don't think I have. I don't have any images to show and share, but we can look at the cover. All right, let's go to it. All right, let's see. Okay, so there's the Alterna site. Let's go to comics. It is a mature comic. There's some language in there. There's some gore and action and whatnot. Let me see. Do I have? I don't have it up just yet in here. I got it in the schedule though. So, Rad Rose. All right. So here is the schedule. You guys can see the stuff that's coming out soon. I got to adjust those dates though. Like I said, I got to push those back. I was hoping we could have got them out in time. That's just not going to happen. But Rad Rose is down here. Let me see. Can this blow up larger? No, it cannot. Stupid website. Blah. But you can see Rad Rose. We're going to have the cover up on, let's see, up on the store site soon. And let me see if I can actually scroll through. We might have the square up. So yeah, right there. Just really, really good stuff. But thank you guys so much for your interest in these books. Tone says, is shipping to Hawaii? We ship worldwide. Shipping to Hawaii is absolutely available. Yeah. Alpha asks, any nudity? Not really. Not really. It's kind of light on that sort of thing. It's like yes and no, but it's not really like gratuitous nudity, and it's not really like glaringly, obvious nudity. You'll see what I mean when you get the book. It's like it's very on par with like Terminator when they come down and that kind of a thing. I'm sorry that's a deal breaker though for you, Alpha Proto. Let's see. Jen Nerdic says, finally ordered the Chair graphic novel today. Yes, I'm late to the party, but any word when you're getting in the red beanie again? All right, so we have a lot of red beanies right now, and thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you supporting the channel. We have the red beanies in, as you can see. The thing is that I think there's about 10 or 15 more backers on the Indiegogo that they have to get their red beanies. They ordered the beanies with the books. So once the books arrive, that second and final wave of books in a couple of weeks, once they get here and all the rewards ship out, all the backers get their stuff, I'll relist the beanies on the site. So at that point in time, probably around June or so, you can get the beanies. Does it help? Depending where you are in the world, you could probably still wear beanies. It shouldn't be too hot out, but you'll have the beanie for the winter and the fall, but we'll have them back up on this. We ordered a lot, so don't worry about it. We'll have them. And in June, you can order it on alternaaccess.com. Thank you so much, though. Tone says, thanks, I need to get caught up. Yeah, absolutely, man. No problem whatsoever. We ship all over the place, and we still get good shipping rates to Hawaii. It's part of the U.S. Same thing with Puerto Rico, Guam, all these places. You can ship relatively affordably. All right, let's see. Colin says, I'm glad you took my suggestion seriously and started a publication. About what? Which one? I don't know. What is that in reference to, Colin? What's that joke in reference to? GJ's is Red Rose and puts a explosion in a fist. Yeah, that's kind of what the book is like. It's like an explosive fist. It really is. It's a really, really, really good book. I think you guys are going to love it. If you really enjoy, let's see, from Alterna, if you really have enjoyed, it does have elements of Voidwalker to it, like that kind of action, horror, sci-fi element. I got it. Man, oh man, it's so hard to compare what it's like. It really is. It kind of has like elements of maybe like almost like a man, oh man, I'm struggling because it's so unique. I guess like if you took elements of a Street Fighter and a little bit of like a Spawn kind of vibe, and maybe even like a touch of Ghost Rider, because there's elements of otherworldliness to it. But it's such a unique title. It really is. It's a great book. I think you guys are going to like it. I really do. Let's see. Colin says I was being a rat bag on Twitter, telling you to print. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Now I get it. Thank you. Yeah. It's a smart idea. It really is. Pages says hipsters wear beanies year round. I wear beanies about maybe I'd say half of the year, and then I do the other half of the year sometimes. And yeah, but yeah, I guess anybody could wear a beanie. It depends where you are. It really does. Up here, sometimes it gets cold enough. I mean, goodness, sometimes it'll be like right now, it's like in the 40s lately or the 50s. I'm not used to the whole, this is even colder than I'm used to for New England. I don't know. You could wear beanies right now. I wear beanies right now. Colin says, I'm hoping that my order is on the way. I just hope that shipping rates haven't mutated too much when shipping to Australia. I'd say that they probably went up about 2%. So don't worry about it, though. It's okay. We got it. And yeah, once those books get in here, I'll ship everything out to you. I can't wait to ship all this stuff out for so many different reasons. But I'm excited to get all these books out to you guys. I know you're going to love them. A lot of great stuff. And a bunch of people, too. I don't think they're even realizing with the fully loaded collector case how many books they're getting, especially the people that backed really early on that just thought they were getting like 15 books and like a couple of blank covers. They're going to be getting like 50-something books in total. And I don't think many people are aware that they're going to be getting so many. Kayla, what's up? Says, hey, Publishing Pete stopping by to say hi. And hey to the chat. All right. Thank you so much, Kayla, for stopping by. Appreciate you. All right. Okay. So I think that's about it for today. The biggest thing I do want to touch base with again is the fact that we're going to have that art auction on the 8th. Everybody thought it was today for some reason. I said Saturday, May 8th, but many people thought it was today. It's not today. It's next week. So make sure noon to 4 Eastern time, and then 9 to whenever Eastern time. We're going to have 2 separate streams. This way we can get people in during the day and people in during the night, whatever works for them. I'm going to be auctioning a bunch of things. Every single thing I'm auctioning is going towards covering Lovey's doubled up vet bill. A couple of people have donated pieces. I'll just say a couple of these people are Graham Nolan. Graham Nolan has donated an amazing comic strip of the Phantom. Unbelievable what he's donating. Andy Smith is donating something as well. A Batman on a Walking Dead sketch cover. Fantastic work. A bunch of great pieces being donated here. I can't even believe the people that have been so kind that are just like, Pete, keep whatever you can get with it. Hopefully it helps to sell and then pay off some of the vet bill. I was floored the other day, almost moved honestly to tears by how kind so many people were, both in reaching out to me directly to give anything they could. I had to turn so many people down. I'm like, no, don't worry. I'm doing an art auction to raise money. You don't have to just be giving. But everyone is so kind. Unbelievable. Just some of the best people in the world right now are the people that I've met through everything. All of this stuff, whether it's alternative readers, Comicsgate, whatever it may be. Some of the greatest people I've ever known in my whole freaking life. I can't even believe it. I'm floored by the support, by people coming together, and it means the world to us here. So we're gonna have a lot of different artists on the stream that day too. They're going to be also selling their own art. Many of them are selling their art just to sell their art, which is perfectly fine. I want to invite whoever wants to participate to do so. Go ahead and do so. We're not raising all the money just for the vet bill thing. I'm personally doing that. Some of the artists, though, they're being kind enough to give like 10% or 20% or whatever it is. It's completely up to them to do so, but they don't have to. But it means a lot that they're just even showing up to do that. It really does. And you guys, I swear, like I was reading through, you know what? Actually, there's one other thing before I want to go. Oh man, Antoine, thank you so much, brother. Seriously, thank you. This is for the fur friend. Again, anyone that donated today, if you would like a thank you gift, and I would like to send you one, okay, please reach out to me either through Twitter or send me an email at publisher@alternacomics.com with your address so I can send you a thank you gift if you would like one, because I want to send one to you. So make sure you reach out to me and let me know. I'm more than happy to do that. Okay, before I go, I do want to share one thing too. So the other day, while everything was going on with Lovey, I had a call from our storage unit, and I've been trying to get a larger storage unit so I could take our 2 units that we have now and consolidate them into one other larger unit. And one finally opened up, but I had to move every single thing out within like 2 days. So let me show you some of the pictures that I have here. All right, let's put up Twitter for a second. Okay, so this was one unit, and the other unit I had showed a while back, but the other unit has mostly supplies, packing material, all that kind of stuff. And then this has a bunch of the boxes of books. So I moved all of this out the other day, and we moved it into the bigger unit. So this was a nice, this was some nice exercise for me the other day. I call it comic book CrossFit. So as I was doing this, there's really bad reception in here. So every time I would check my phone, I was getting all these messages every single time just messages of support, messages of kindness, people that wanted to participate in the auction, people that wanted to donate pieces. Every single time I went to just check and make sure that I could hear from the vet about Lovey and how she was doing. Every single time I would check the phone, I would get a signal, and I would check, and I would get all of these messages from you guys. And there was one point with the emotion of what's going on, with being unbelievably tired. I was only on with, I think within 24 hours, I had like maybe 5 or 6 hours of sleep within 2 days, actually, because one day I only had 2 hours of sleep. And then the next day I only got like 4. So between getting like not enough sleep, being really, really tired, and just getting all of this done and just having to do it, and then everything going on with Lovey and being like stressed out because we didn't know how it was going to go. And then we were really hoping that no matter what happened, she could still eat and she could still be okay, because with hyperthyroid, what happens is the metabolism goes through the roof. So if they don't eat and they don't get their medicine through eating, then they lose a lot of weight really quickly. And once they start losing a lot of weight, they can end up dying. You can have organs shutting down, liver failure, all that kind of stuff. So we were really worried that with the dental surgery and her losing 6 teeth, was she going to eat? Was she going to get her medicine? What was going to happen? Thankfully, after the first night was kind of scary, the rest of it's been great. She's doing so much better now. So even though, the money thing is the money thing, we were really worried about everything else, and everything with that's panned out. But there was a time I was getting all these messages from everybody, and it was overwhelming, the kindness. So I just want to say thank you, guys. You turned a real just stomach turning situation into something that just doesn't feel as bad. And your support just means the world. It really does. Your kindness has been unbelievable. And Tone, come on, Tone. That's got to be an extra. That's got to be, you put an extra 0 there, right? You meant to do 10. Tone wants to have me cry on stream. This is why I got to wear these things. This is the real reason. Because you guys, Tone, if you meant to do 10, Tone, it's cool, man. I'll let you, seriously, because $100, come on. You better get in touch with me, Tone, so I can send you a thank you gift for crying out loud. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, you guys. All right, I'm gonna have to end this because seriously, I don't want anybody else sending in donations. We have an art auction next week, ladies and gentlemen, with really, really good stuff that you guys could have. I'll just let you know. Okay, so I already, and I still, Tone, you got me seriously, man. All you guys, I didn't expect any of this today. Any of this. Just save your money for art auction on the 8th. Goodness gracious, you guys. You're going to make Aaron cry. Okay, I'm going to tell Aaron about this. You're going to make Aaron cry. We'll cry off camera together. You guys are just incredible. This is why, though, when people want to tell me about, the worst of the worst and they're awful, I'm like, you know what? You're just something's wrong with you. I feel bad for you that you don't know the kind of people like that I know. I could never in a million years. I got you guys till the end of time because you guys have been there for me in a million freaking different times. I can't even. Nash, what are you doing? Nash. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, goodness. Save it for the art auction. Please. Goodness, jeez Louise. Nash with the $50 says no gift required, brother. Oh man. man, oh man, I don't have proper words. I don't have proper words at this point. Kayla says we love you and Aaron and Lovey. Man, you guys, I love you guys. You guys are unbelievable, unbelievable. One of the best yeah, you guys, Al, Kayla, Nash, Tone, Antoine, Jasper, every single. I mean, statistical zero, Gerald. I mean, I feel like I'm missing a bunch of people because I know I am, but I mean, you guys are absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. What is this? Guys, wait. Just wait for the art auction, okay? You don't need to do any of these donation things. And again, please get in touch with me. Get in touch with me. Let me give you a thank you gift. Please. Please. Brian says you had me at hello. You had me at. That's how I feel though right now, you guys. Yeah, they do just want to see me cry. Holy goodness gracious. All right, so I'm gonna just it's over there. One of the things that I'm gonna have up for auction next week is gonna be the very first Alterna comic that ever got printed. It's my comic. It's a horrible, horrible comic, but it has historical value. It's not even the same logo. It's the very, very first Alterna logo. I didn't know what the heck to make of any of it. I was just like, it's my own comic I'm making for the very first time. It's actually, you can kind of see it back there. Erin had framed it. Erin used to be a professional framer. She's an amazing framer. Spectrum, #1. That was the very, very first Alterna comic, and this is a first printing. This is a print on demand issue. There's only like 200 that were made. I only have 3. So I'm putting one of them up next week to raise money for Lovey. I'm also putting up a signed 8x10 from the cast of The Chair. The cast that signed it, that includes signatures from Roddy Piper, and this is Roddy's last feature film that he made. Roddy Piper, Noah Hathaway, who was Atreyu in Neverending Story, and he was in Troll, and also Sushi Girl, and a couple other things as an adult. Zach Galligan, Billy Peltzer from Gremlins. Naomi Grossman, she was Pepper from American Horror Story. Susan Eisenberg was the voice of Wonder Woman on the Justice League Unlimited cartoon. Ken Schreiner, the voice of Green Arrow, and also Scotty Baldwin from General Hospital, if anybody ever watches that type of stuff. A bunch of great people that were involved with the film. Joe Pilato also, who is Captain Rhodes from, I believe, Day of the Dead. They all signed this 8x10. I'm putting that up for auction as well next week. I want to try to see if we could raise as much money as possible because of the fact that we probably have about 1 or 2 more vet visits just to follow up with everything. And I want to make sure we get ahead of the curveball and also pay down some of the vet bill that we've had just floating around for the past 2 years because of everything. When it initially happened and Lovey was on death's door, everything was emergency tests, all this other stuff. It went to like $1,200 within like a day. And Erin at the time wanted to do a fundraiser for it. And I was like, I don't think we could do that. I don't think we could raise anything. I don't think it's possible. And so we just kind of bit the bullet. And this was back in July 2019. And we just wrote it out. And then like every month she had another visit for almost like, I'd say 6 months to 8 months. It was like a vet visit every single time. So we racked up a bunch of vet bills and whatnot. And then this one was like, okay, we thought it would be whatever it was. And then it was double whatever we thought it was going to be because things were so much worse. So like I said, I got a bunch of stuff. I got some art. I got some other things. And then all the other great people that are helping out with donating pieces and whatnot. I think we'll definitely be able to cover it and then some. And this way we'll have a little bit to cover the next visit or 2 as well. But so that kind of stuff, that kind of stuff we're going to be putting up there. Tone says, I want that comic. I will come hard for it. Spectrum #1, the very first Alterna comic ever made, first printing. I'm going to put that up. I only have 3. I'm putting up one of them. And then only 200 were made. And this was when I don't know what the hell Alterna was going to be. I thought Alterna was going to be, and this was 15 years ago. I thought it was going to be like, I'll just do it for a year or 2. I'll get better at it and build it up as kind of like a portfolio. in a way to get other work. And then it just snowballed into what it is now today. I had no idea that it would be what it is now today, and knowing all the amazing people. There's been bumps in the road. There's been bumps in the road. But I honestly, I don't even regret those at this point because it led me to you guys. So it was worth it. It was worth it. Anyway, I'm going to leave it on that note. Thank you guys so much. Really, really appreciate you guys. Love you guys. You guys have been unbelievable with all of this. I don't have the proper words anymore. I'm floored. Thank you guys so much. Hope to see you next week. Again, the art auctions will be noon to 4 Eastern and then 9 o'clock and onward Eastern. And if you're an artist in the chat or writer or anyone, if you want to auction off anything on the show that day, go for it. Feel free to join. And just let me know, and I'll make sure to promote that you'll be there. Other than that, everybody have a great night, and yeah, Jam, yeah. God bless the broken road that led us all to Pete. Well, led me to you. God bless it that led me to you. 100%. I wouldn't ever. The only thing I would do differently is not give as much of a shit as I did about all the awful people that made me feel so horrible. But I wouldn't change a damn other thing. I wouldn't have said anything differently. I wouldn't have not stood up about anything differently. Not at all. I wouldn't have took a lot of it as hard. But hindsight, 2020, right? But I wouldn't have changed a damn thing. And I'm grateful for all of those idiots that came at me, because I'm grateful for you guys. It led me to you guys. All right, everybody, have a great night. Thank you so much. Unbelievable. You guys are the best. The best. Absolute best. I'm going to leave it at that. You guys are wonderful. Love you guys. Take it easy. Have a great one. See you soon. Comic.